G'day mates, this video covers everything there is to know about the ResMed AirMini. Let's dive in. There's only two genuine reasons to buy an AirMini. Number one, size, and number two, weight. The device is expensive, so you need to decide if the smaller, lighter device is worth your hard-earned savings. By itself, the AirMini weighs only 300 grams or 10.6 ounces, and the dimensions are 136 millimeters, 84 millimeters, 52 millimeters. Now in comparison with ResMed's AirSense 11, that's a 74% reduction in weight and an 81% reduction in size. Now that's a big difference, but we need to be realistic here because you can't use a CPAP machine without power supply, tubing, mask and accessories. So here are the real numbers. When you add the bag, mask, power supply and tubing, the AirMini weighs around 1,300 grams, and by comparison, the AirSense 11 here, 2,140 grams. Now that's still a reduction in weight of around 40% and a reduction in size of around 33%. So the big question is, what did ResMed remove from their full-size AirSense 11 unit to save on size and weight when manufacturing the AirMini? Let's take a look. Number one, the water-based humidifier and the heated tube are gone. There is no water chamber with the AirMini and there's no heated tube system. Instead, the AirMini uses for humidification these HumidX little cartridges, and I'll talk more about them later in the video. Number two, they've removed the screen. So if you want to program this device or change settings, you need to connect it to your phone via Bluetooth and you use the AirMini app in order to change those settings. And we'll talk about that app a little later on. Number three, no SD card, lower data capabilities, and no cellular communications. There is no cellular modem in this device like there is with the AirSense 11. So the cell comms connect up to the cell towers and they transfer data via the cell towers. With this device, it transfers data to the AirMini app via Bluetooth. Now, because there's no SD card in this device, it means the machine can't transfer the detailed high definition data, that really important stuff that I talk about a lot in the videos that I demonstrate on SleepHQ. You only get the summary data, the basic usage type data, none of that high definition stuff. And last of all, they've removed the sound abatement foam from the AirMini. So both these machines have the exact same motor. However, inside the AirSense 11, there's a lot more foam to reduce the noise. As a result, the AirMini is obviously smaller, but there is more noise. Now there's a whole bunch of different kits you can buy, but here's what you get if you just buy the AirMini by itself. Okay. The AirMini, standard booklets, warranty information, your little 20-watt AC power supply, and they also give you a little bag. Kind of looks like something you'd find at the shopping center. All right, there's your little bag that comes with it. And that's it. That's what you get. Now, those with a keen eye might have noticed there's something missing. Where the bloody hell is the CPAP tubing? Well, it turns out there is no tubing included when you buy just the AirMini. You need to buy an AirMini specific mask pack, and we'll discuss these now. Now, with the travel CPAP machines, the idea is obviously to keep them nice and small and portable, so they've removed the water-based humidification system. And to stop people drying out, we have these HME filters. And the way they work, it's just a little filter. And this filter captures the water that's in your breath. If you've ever breathed onto a cold window and it fogs up, that's the moisture in your breath hitting that cold window and condensing. So this filter here, it captures that water and then it uses that water to create humidification. Now, they last 30 days. So once you open the packet, and it hits that atmospheric air, you've got 30 days to use it. After that, throw it in the bin. And you've got a standard one, that's for most environments, and a plus one, which will add a bit more humidification for those extra dry environments. Think high altitude, maybe you're on a plane, you know, when it's really dry. Any place that's really cold as well. Cold air can't hold much moisture, and because of that, the air is dry. Now, people always ask me, how effective are they? What level of humidification do they provide? And there's no information on this, but if I had to put a value on it compared to, you know, a water-based heated humidifier, I'd say they're somewhere between 10 to 20% of the humidification provided by this. They're nowhere near as good, but they're just designed to take the edge off the dryness, add just a little bit of moisture so that you don't get so dry from that constant airflow from the AirMini. Here's where it gets a little tricky. Because these HME filters use the air we breathe in order to create the humidification, the filter itself needs to be placed between the CPAP mask and the exhalation port of your CPAP mask so that it captures all your breath. I'll give you an example. So here is a normal AirFit P10 mask, one you'd normally use with your AirSense 11 or any full-size CPAP machine. Now with this mask, the exhalation port is right up here near the nasal pillow. But for the very same mask used on the AirMini P10, it's no longer here at the top where it used to be. They've moved the exhalation port down the tube past the HME to this port here. This is where the exhalation port is. So we unscrew this, put in our HME filter, screw it back up, and now all the air that's breathed in this mask gets captured by the HME, and then that creates the humidification to stop you drying out during the night. That's how it works, okay? And ResMed calls that ActiveAir technology, but all it is just moving the exhalation port past the HME filter. All right, you get that? Now let's go through some of these masks and I'll explain it for you in detail, because there's only certain masks that are designed to work with the AirMini. Now I'm going to show you some awesome hacks that let you use any mask you like with the AirMini, or perhaps you want to use one of these AirMini masks with a full-size unit. Let's do it. So the first one, and probably one of the most popular nasal pillow masks of all time, the AirFit P10. So this is the AirMini P10 here. You can see it has this little attachment where I've put the HME filter, and we just connect it up like so, twist, and then pull over the head like so. And this also has the little adjustable head strap on the side. So that's mask number one. So next up we have the AirFit N20 mask, and this will also work with the AirTouch N20, which is exactly the same mask, but it has that memory foam cushion, the AirTouch cushion. So what I've got here, I'll just show you. So this is the normal mask, and you can see the exhalation port is right here at the front. I'm going to pinch that tube out, and what I've bought is a little adapter pack, like an N20 pack, and it comes with this little part here. And I can just push that in there now. So there is no exhalation port on the front here anymore. Exhalation port has moved down here. I can put one of those Humidex cartridges in, and then I just screw it on like so. AirTouch N20, looking pretty schmick. Next up we have the N30 AirMini mask pack. And it looks like this, very similar to the P10 mask, but more of a nasal cradle design. You don't have the pillows sticking up in your nose, so it's a bit softer around the nose. And once again, similar type setup there. We just connect it up and then just pull over our head like so. There's the N30. Once again, great little mask. Doesn't seal quite as well as the P10, but still very popular. Now with the full face masks, things are a little different. So here we have an AirFit F20. This will also work with the AirTouch F20, which is the same mask, but once again with that memory foam cushion. And this is the normal elbow on the mask. And what I'm buying here is just a different elbow. This is the F20 setup pack for the AirMini. So I haven't gone and bought a whole new mask pack. I'm using my same F20 that I'd normally use with my full-size unit, and I'm just buying this little elbow section here. It also comes with the tube too. So I just click that in, pretty straightforward, click it in, and then I just twist on the AirMini tubing. Now you might have noticed that there's no longer a spot for the Humidex filters. If I show you the P10 again, we have this little section here where we install the filter. But on the F20 mask, it's gone. So they've redesigned the Humidex filters. This here is the F20, and this is the little one for the P10 and the N20 and the other masks. And it now goes inside the cushion. So you push it in like so, and it clicks into place inside. So now we have mask, Humidex, and exhalation port all in the right order. Pretty cool stuff. Now the last mask is the AirFit F30. All right. Now unfortunately, the Humidex cartridges won't work with the F30. So you will have to use this mask without humidification. Once again, I've just bought the setup pack, clips into place, and then it just connects up like so. So if you don't have this mask, you will have to buy the mask. But if you already own the mask, then you can just buy the little setup pack, which comes with the elbow and the tubing. So what can you do if you don't want to use one of these masks specifically designed for the AirMini, one of these ResMed masks that I just showed you? Let's just say you've got a Fisher & Paykel Evora Full. It's the only mask that's ever worked for you and you love it, but you want to get yourself a travel CPAP machine as well. Right now, that doesn't work, all right? This little section here is designed to click in to those specific ResMed masks. It's a proprietary connection, but what you can get is a little adapter. An aftermarket adapter. I'll put the links in the description. We can click that in, and now, we have a connection. We're connected up. The other option you have is this part here is also proprietary connection, but you can get another little adapter and you can connect that up. And now we can connect any standard tubing to this section here, which also means we can connect any mask. Let me tell you a little tale. Once upon a time, in the world of PAP, CPAP masks and machines lived in perfect harmony. Harmony! One universal connection that worked with all masks and all machines. And then ResMed came along and fucked it all with their stupid proprietary connection that only works with a few masks. But you know what they say? Necessity is the basis for all invention. And luckily, we have a few different connections to work with any mask. And here's another kick-ass hack for you all. Let's just say you've got an AirSense 11 and you're going camping. So you're using a battery, and because you're using a battery, you don't want to use your heated humidifier because they drain the battery so quickly. So you take out your water chamber, put in the side cover, makes it a bit smaller anyway, and you want to use one of these AirMini specific masks because they have the HME filter. Now normally, because of the proprietary end, ResMed does this on purpose by the way guys, it doesn't fit, all right? It doesn't fit in there. What you can do is this, all right, you ready? This here is called a medlock. Now watch this. Just screw it in. Screw it into place. AirSense 11, boom. Now I can use my AirSense 11 with the Humidex cartridges and get humidification without buying an AirMini. The machine's still nice and light, reasonably portable, and I haven't had to spend an extra $1,000 to get the same use with the mask. Link in the description, guys, check it out. All right, kids, it's been a long day, it's dinner time, but we're still here. Now, let's talk about some of the AirMini accessories. So, like I showed you before, if you just get the AirMini, you don't get a whole lot. You get that, old mate Crow's back, you get that Safeway shopping bag and whatnot. So ResMed want you to buy all the extra accessories, all your bits and pieces. Now, most of you are probably going to buy a bag to go with it. Should be included, but it's not. This is the little ResMed bag. And you'll probably also buy a little hard case. It's not really a hard case though, it's a soft case. So most of you will buy this stuff, but I'll show you an alternative. And yes, I'm affiliated with this brand, but at the same time, it's cheaper and it's better. So make of it what you will. So this is a REM sleep bag. It's a bit bigger, but it means if you're going to buy, a DC converter or a battery or something you probably want to use with your AirMini, this is better. Looks the same, but just a bit bigger. And the hard case, the REM sleep hard case, this here, as soft as can be. This here, that's a hard case, proper hard case. Okay, so this is the hard case you want to protect your $1,000 AirMini. Slots in like so. You got a little pouch in here. You might want to put a few Humidex filters in there as well. Lock it up. That's a proper hard case. It's going to protect your machine. This here doesn't do anything. Next up, we have the AirMini mount system. A lot of accessories, guys. But because the AirMini is so small and light, and it has no grip on the bottom, if you put it on your bedside table and you're moving around, there's a chance you're going to pull it off. So the mount system locks it in place, and you can lock it to your bedside table, you can lock it to your bed, whichever way you want to lock it. That's something you can look at. Now let's wrap this up with power supplies, CPAP batteries, something I just love to talk about. Now the AirMini itself is a 24 volt machine, right? 24 volts, same as the AirSense 11, same as the AirSense 10, same as the S9. The S8 was 12 volt, all right? Had a negative center pin. So you can go and grab, let's have a look at this, a DC-DC converter. And what this will do is it will convert 12 volts from like a cigarette port in your car, your caravan, whatever, to 24 volts required to run the AirMini. This is what it looks like. Okay, so there's your cigarette port jack. There's your AirMini. This will also fit into the AirSense 11 as well. ResMed could have made this cable a lot smaller if they made it purpose-built for the AirMini. However, instead, they've made the one cable work with the AirMini and the AirSense 11 in order to save on manufacturing and supply chain costs. And because of that, it's a lot bigger. Let me show you this. Here's the little cable that I use
Yeah,
for both my AirMini and AirSense 11. It's a little USB cable and it works just great. All right, let me show you. Now, the batteries I'm going to show you now are prototypes that I'm helping develop. This little one here is called the AirPro Mini, and this one here, the AirPro Max. Now the Mini you can take on a plane and it will run the AirMini for 2+ nights on a single charge. And the Max, you're looking at 5 to 7 nights on a single charge. All right, so check it out. AirPro Mini battery, USB-C in, Other end into the AirMini. Switch her on. Here we go. All right, mates, now before we move on and I do a demonstration setting up the AirMini with the AirMini app, I'll quickly touch upon the power specifications. So typical power consumption of an AirMini is 6.3 watt hours. Now what this means, if we have a battery and the capacity of the battery is 6.3 watt hours, it will run an AirMini for 1 hour before she goes flat. Now this AirPro Mini here has a capacity of 149 watt hours, which is bloody unreal for such a small size. Now if we divide 149 by the typical power consumption of an AirMini, 6.3, works out to be around 24 hours. You can divide that by 8 if you like. A typical night's sleep works out to be about 3 nights on a single charge. Now peak power consumption is 27 watt hours. And because the CPAP machines have a range of pressures, the higher the pressure, the more power the AirMini consumes. So if you're running this machine at 20 centimeters, the top end, it's going to consume around that 27 watt hours, which means you're going to be dividing 149 by 27. And my maths is pretty good, but can't work it out just now. Now let's compare with the AirSense 10. So if you're running an AirSense 10 with a heated humidifier and a heated tube, 2 heating elements, and we know heater elements draw a lot of power, then typical power consumption is 34 watt hours, which is a massive difference. However, we can take that out, put in the side cover and attach a standard tube, and then typical power consumption reduces from 34 watt hours down to 7 watt hours, which is quite close to the 6.3 hours of the AirMini. Now standby power consumption, when you're not using the machine, this is 1 watt hour, and from memory this is I think 5 watt hours. All right, so there you go. Now let's move on and set up this bad boy. All right, first things first, let's attach the tubing. Now pretty straightforward, guys. If you can't work this out, then you got no hope. So it just clicks into place. Now with the mask, we're going to insert our little heat moisture exchange filter, little blue side there that just sits down into place. It won't screw on if it's not correctly in place, and then we just attach the mask and that just screws on as well. All right, really easy sort of stuff. And then we can just put our mask on. Now we can attach our power supply. Now I'm just going to run it from the battery here now because it's here and I can't be bothered finding a power point. So one end into the USB-C, the other end just goes in to the machine, turn it on, and we're good. I'll just turn it on now, it's going to run. All right, so she's good to go. Now let's set up the machine and program it using the AirMini app. Go to the App Store or the Google Play Store if you're an Android fan. I use Apple. AirMini. Download the AirMini app. Ooh, a little bit of leg there for you. All right, here we go. AirMini would like to use Bluetooth. Hell no. Obviously you need to agree to that. Accept the terms of use. Now it says press the Bluetooth button on your AirMini. When you see the blue light flashing, tap connect. Here we go. Select accessory. Now on the back here, 6592. Welcome, let's set up your equipment. It only takes a few minutes. Get started. All right, now this is a nasal mask. AirFit N30. I think I called it the P30 before, guys. I'm sorry. N30, P30, P30i, N30i. There's a lot of stuff going on, all right? Let's just go with the AirFit N30. And it's as simple as that. So we've downloaded the app, synced it up via Bluetooth to the device, and now we can control the device through the app. I'm going to show you one more little trick, guys, and that's how to access the clinical menu in the app. And that will allow you to change things like the therapy mode. You can change it from auto for her, CPAP, You can also change the therapy pressure levels. Let's do it. So to access the clinical menu, it's really simple. We just go to the dashboard tab down the bottom, and then we click the little Bluetooth symbol up the top right-hand corner, and then we hold down the ResMed logo and the AirMini logo simultaneously. And now we're into the clinical menu, and we can change more of those advanced settings, including our therapy mode and our pressure levels. And that, my dear friends, is all she wrote. Uncle Nico's ultimate guide to the ResMed AirMini. I hope you enjoyed it. Now, as you know, all this information, all my knowledge is totally free and always will be. But if you are someone who would like to give back, you can become a channel member. It's only a couple of bucks a year, and all the money goes to helping me buy all this gear so I can do these educational videos. Another way you can support the channel is from buying your gear from my channel sponsor. I've got cpap.com.au down here in Australia, and over there in the States, g'day guys, I've got sleeplay.com. Two great companies, great customer support, and they're really going to look after you, especially if you tell them you're friends with old mate Nico on the CPAP Reviews YouTube channel. Until next time guys, sleep well, look after your mates, and I'll see you soon. Bye.